This is not your usual pasta plate. It's not your usual dolmio pre-made sauce spaghetti, okay? This is much, much more. But let's introduce each other first. For context, my name's Candela. I am 22, and even though I come from Spain...
De Madrid al cielo.
De Madrid al cielo. I have spent the past 5 years of my life in the newfound land of Brexit. In all this time, I've been a student, a waitress, a sales assistant, a freelancer, an editor in-house for some production companies here and there, and the list goes on. And ever since I left the nest, life has not been incredibly easy. I have had my own sufferings as a young and confused adult. But every time, I have felt slightly down, pasta has been a wonderful solution. I met Matt, this guy on my right, on my second year in this country, and he showed me ways of cooking this I never thought were possible. So when I was a child, I was pretty obsessed with pasta, but I was obsessed with the version of like macaroni overcooked with the tomate frito that we have in Spain. I would just love to like get all in and get my face full of tomato, but that was it. That was as much as I like would have. I've never had anything that was more well thought, and I never thought that there was any other way of making pasta. The first time I got to Italy, it was the first time I tried proper pasta in a restaurant, and I remember my mum telling me, don't ask for pasta because you can already do that at home. So every single time I was like, I want some macaroni with tomato. My mum would be like, don't, I'm not letting you get that.
Oh, is she alright? Is she okay now?
Yeah, she's still alive. Thank you for asking. I don't know Italian, sadly.
Pizza, pasta, margherita.
Piccolo pizza.
Mario, Luigi.
I know the word piccolo from an ad that I watched when I was a kid, and I just thought I was such a pro just for knowing the word piccolo. Italian pasta grew on me a lot. I just thought it was a thing of the chefs, and I would never actually be able to do something not even remotely similar. I don't know, I just, in my head, I just felt like it was just a very expensive thing to do, so I didn't even think about it. And then I met Matthew. And I remember the first time I saw him cooking tomatoes. I got a bit unsettled. I just didn't understand why he was cooking them. I looked at him and was like, wait, tomatoes are meant to be in salads. Why are you cooking them? And he looked at me like I was a fucking freak. Understandably. I also remember the very last time I used pre-cooked sauce. He was with me. I got it out of the shelf and he literally looked at me like I was...
Scum.
Like I was sinning. From that look, I just got too scared. And also I was trying to like impress him, you know what I mean? You can't impress a boy with like pre-made sauce. Gotta say, my mum also learned that there's better ways of making pasta. And actually, there's this audio. Do you still have that audio of my mum? There's this audio of my mum trying to make pasta.
I don't think so.
You deleted it? You deleted my mum's message? No, that's there.
Where?
That's my mum.
Hi, Matt. I don't know if I have to put the water of the tomato take out the water of the tomato because I can get the same flavor than you get. I don't know why. Maybe it's that. Is the tomato has some water and I put all in. I don't know.
Is that it?
Yeah.
That was like a midway sentence.
I think I forgot
You
to
never
reply.
You never replied?
I think I forgot.
What the fuck?
I can't reply.
What the hell?
It was like 2 months ago.
Matthew! She just did... Anyways, my mum is really trying to learn, but she can't quite get there. So while he's making that weird face, we're gonna explain to you how you make this pasta. I don't know if it's a common thing to make pasta like this. It wasn't for me, so there must be someone else out there that doesn't know. First things first, you need the ingredients. We already had a few ingredients. Olive oil, the more Spanish and extra virgin it is, the better. And spaghetti. I think according to him, it wouldn't be the best if it's whole grain. The whitest it is, the better. Doesn't mean it's super healthy, but you know. And salt, which I think you don't even have to think about because everyone has that in their houses.
A little bit of chili, a bit like flakes.
You don't need it. Like we didn't start this with chili. Like the very original recipe that you started making.
I had chili.
Didn't have chili.
Did, but I just don't use it all the time.
Okay. Let's go and get the ingredients. Ugh. Jesus. We've had to go down to Glorious Little, probably one of the cheapest supermarkets in the UK. And we've taken what we needed. So we got some basil. For some reason the plant basil is cheaper than the normal basil. Then we got some cherry tomatoes. One of the top tips of the chef would be to get cherry tomatoes with the vine, get loads of them, and if they're like juicy and red, even better. Parmigiano Reggiano is very expensive. If you don't eat dairy for any reason, you're vegan or you're allergic, then don't get this. It's not necessary, it's just because he's obsessed with cheese. Garlic is super important. It's probably one of my favorite things ever to put on everything. So let's start making the pasta now. Should we do it now?
Yeah.
Let's go.
For me, this is just an excuse to make pasta. You're paying for it as well. I'm so happy right now.
Do you want to explain how it starts? You're the chef.
I'm definitely not a chef. Yeah, so... I can't think.
I'll just explain it for him. Firstly, grate the cheese like there is no tomorrow, and let it be in the corner of your kitchen until needed. Get a saucepan and a ton of water boiling while you cut a few garlic cloves. There's really no number for this, so get as much as it tickles your pickle. Put a pan on medium-low heat with tons of olive oil, and without waiting for it to heat up, throw all of your chopped garlic and stir a bit to mix it up well with the oil. Get your cherry tomatoes and clean them up. If you're Russian or you're lazy like Matt is, there's no need for them to get chopped up, so let them as they are. Remember the vines I mentioned before? This is where they play a part. Take them in between your hands and rub them to get the nice smell out. Place it next to your tomatoes. You'll place it in the pan as well when the garlic's ready. Now go back to your pan. It won't take too long until your garlic slightly softens. Don't wait for it to brown, because it could ruin your meal. When it is softened, put all of your cherries in. Stir a bit more to get all of the flavor in the tomatoes, and onto the spaghetti. Here we want the pasta to be ready around the same time as the sauce, so keep that in mind. Be patient and wait for your tomatoes to slowly soften. If you put the heat up, they will most likely burn and the flavor won't be there. Remember not to leave your spaghetti unattended. We want them to be al dente, so make sure they're not in the water for too long. I'd say if they're a bit harder than al dente situation, you should start thinking of placing them on your pan if the sauce is ready. You'll know when your sauce is ready because your tomatoes will be mushy. When it's ready, then place your undercooked spaghetti into the pan. And this is one of the tricks. Put in a few large spoons of the starchy water left from the boiling. Honestly, I don't know the science behind this, but it seems to help the sauce adhere better to the spaghetti, so it's a win-win situation. Then all you have to do is stir. Throw in a few basil leaves and chili flakes while doing so. And when you think it is ready, try a tiny bit. If it convinces you, then I guess it's ready. For the cheese lovers, there is one last step. Throw in all that sexy ass cheese you've grated before and stir a bit more. And that'll be it. Is it good? I'm instantly regretting this.
I'm not. Why? Why would you do that? Why would you do anything?
Because it's carbohydrates full on.
It's good for depression.
It's good for depression. Do you want to clean the plates? Do you want to clean the plates?
What do you mean?
Just you clean everything. Yeah, okay, cool.